Going It Alone, A Year of Play. This is episode 6. Yikes, I do have a job, you know, and I can't believe it's been 6 months. So here's a reminder as to why I'm doing these videos. I'm recording this video at our caravan near the Scottish borders. It's only a 45-minute drive door to door, and it's by no means posh, but it provides me and the family with a great escape from the business of daily lives. When I worked for a large corporate, I used to drive past it all the time on the way up to Scotland, and occasionally used it as a pit stop. But now I'm self-employed, I get to plan where I work, when I work, and how I work, and that freedom is liberating, but equally has its challenges if it's not structured well. It's often said that people in similar careers navigate towards each other, and there is a shared understanding about what you do, the stresses, the routine, and a stat from SME Loans confirms that in the world of self-employment, this also rings true. Apparently, a third of aspiring UK entrepreneurs would like to set up a business with their partner. So in this episode, I want to share a bit more about my learnings when it comes to starting out and leaving the traditional 9 till 5 behind. So in summary, communicate openly about what the work will entail with your friends, family and significant others. Plan your working week, setting little deadlines and goals, and think for the future as you start to earn just as you would if working elsewhere. So I'm going to go into a bit more about what that means. So firstly, communication. Prior to going it alone, I was active in sharing with my family how I felt about my work situation. There are times when you realise that you are not the right fit, and one of my mentors said to me once, can you change it? And if the answer is no, can you put up with it? And if the answer is still no, then there is only one option, and that's leave. And I've talked about my work drivers before, and balance is important, but I found that I was putting too much emphasis on the financial security element compared to the others, and therefore my happiness. And that's probably why I continue to stay. So as a family, we talked about the risks of leaving, looked at the combined income, the outcomes, but also discussed flexibility and how, when, and where work will take place. And it's now 6 months, more or less to the day, that I took the leap, but one thing has been recurring throughout this time. The fact that my work is, by and large, flexible, it is the first to be compromised. And it's no one's fault, it's just the way it has ended up. As time has gone on and bits of life admin has cropped up, I took on the responsibility. Partly because over the years I frankly had not done enough, and partly because I have worked since the age of 13 delivering newspapers, and it was just nice to have a bit of a break. But a big lesson for me is that in these early stages, I cannot afford to be the part-time company director and invest little in business development. So if I was to start again and offer some advice, it would say, be more rigid in determining as a family who will do what now you enter this new world of self-employment. One person's work is not more important, but going self-employed does not mean you should behave as if you don't work. Aligned to this is my second learning: daily, weekly, monthly plans. And when I kickstarted Promethean Play, I set myself 3 goals for 2022. And I'm not going to share the detail, but one was a financial goal, one was centred on a number of workshops that I deliver, and the other on marketing the business. So these overarching goals have helped me plan my monthly, weekly, and then daily activities. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I've chilled out a bit about the strict deadlines because I was stressing myself out, but the routine has helped keep me on point. I use Microsoft To Do religiously to help plan what I do, and I have a rough guide to what I should be doing on a day-by-day basis. Like I schedule time in the day for social media, otherwise I'd probably just be looking at it every hour. I build in lunch, stretch breaks, and I'm clear when my working day shall end. The one thing that I do need to get better, I think as you see these videos progress, I seem to be putting on more weight, so I do need to add in a bit more routine surrounding exercise. But look, when it comes to the work elements, that's not to say I won't do a bit here and there on the weekend or in evenings, but having the routine and the structure does keep me focused. And for me, I also like to reflect on my week and plan for the next, so I build in time to do this on a Friday. So use technology to help you plan your day and be clear on what you want to achieve. Everything else will fall into place on the back of that. And finally, think future. In my previous jobs, it was just a given that you would be enrolled in a pension. If you were sick, you would be paid for a while. If you were on a holiday, you would be paid for that too. So from the outset, and playing to my need for financial security, I was thinking about what all this could mean for me and what it could look like. So as a limited company, the business earns and I pay myself through PAYE, and it's a notional amount each month, as my focus is on extending the lifespan of Promethean Play and me doing what I do now, not necessarily paying myself big bucks in the short term, but having a bit longer at it. So the smaller amount of monthly play also means I can provide for more pension. So as a director and only employee of a limited company, you are exempt from auto-enrolment into a pension, but it is super easy to set up a pension scheme. And I did lots and lots of research and opted for Penfold. A few reasons: you can set up a pension scheme from scratch, you don't need to transfer any existing pensions, and the flexibility surrounding payments, you can change the amount, pause payments, etc. So it offers so much flexibility. And then a further benefit of having a limited company is your ability to draw a dividend. So as the only shareholder, if I were to receive a dividend, I would not pay tax on it up to £2,000. Amounts over this do incur income tax. So think in future, by paying myself an amount that I need to sort of pay the bills, but little more, it gives the business quite a lot of wiggle room to decide if a dividend payment could be made. So every person's financial situation is obviously different, but my advice would be set up a pension scheme as soon as you can and consider your remuneration in the context of business affordability and sustainability. But as always, if in doubt, speak to an accountant. So there we have it, a few learnings from me, and feel free to reach out if you want more details on what I've shared in this video. Being self-employed is not easy, and often it's your own demons and insecurities that cause all the fuss. And that's what I'm going to explore next time in Yikes, I've Seen the Competition. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, be sure to hit the subscribe button.